It's all for Tom Christensen to do against Fernando Alonso. Christensen has the experience. Alonso is the star of Spain at the moment. He's Spanish, he's in Formula One, and that means he's a superstar here. Tom Christensen's done quite a lot of Formula One. He tested for Michelin for 2 years whilst they were preparing to come into Formula One. He's also won Le Mans, and he's competed in everything from karts upwards. In fact, he spent a lot of time in Japan with Jacques Villeneuve and Mika Salo when they were on their way up to Grand Prix racing. But Christensen never made it right to the top into Formula One, but he's made himself a name in sports car racing. But now they're in Seats and they're absolutely together, coming round for the intermediate time. Who's going to be the fastest? It's Alonso.
Position for this one, but the real battle is just behind. George Russell in the 7 and Alex Gill in the 8. George cannot afford to let Alex finish in front of him in this race. If Alex beats him, he is the KF3 champion for 2012. So this one really is all about George Russell and Alex Gill, but there's several battles through the field already. Jahan Darawala has got himself into a nice big lead so far.
Yeah, Jahan's been on fire this weekend, Jake. He's absolutely on it. And you can see this is first lap, and he's already got a comfortable sort of 10-length lead. But here's a battle on the track, though. It's George Russell and Alex Gill. If Alex Gill finishes in front of the 7 kart, he wins the championship. It's as simple as that. George Russell cannot allow him by. George has got to finish in front of Alex to keep the championship going to the last race of the season. And Billy Munger today on the 23 kart, you see as they come through Park Bend here up to Stratford Hairpin. Billy Munger's having his best run in the championship as well.
Alex Gill up the inside and takes George Russell, but George Russell is back again on the inside, on the undercut, and Alex Gill hustles him sideways to make sure he gets the clean line for the next corner. That is fantastic driving from Alex Gill. And now Billy Munger is no longer to play the, he's no longer able to play the win game, is he?
Mark Webber, and Mark gave me chapter and verse about how much time they spent on the Porsche 919 project of getting the right fluorescent colours on the right bits of the steering wheel and the right amount of black light or illumination so that you could see which dial you had to twiddle and where it was without killing your night vision, particularly for Le Mans. It's always much darker. Battle out on the circuit. The number 48 Allied Cadillac we were mentioning, that is Jimmy Johnson, has got the number 02 Kevin Magnussen car right up his tailpipes as he goes through turn number 1, now down to the short chute, down to turn number 5, should I say, and Jimmy Johnson going down the inside of the ERA LMP car. Here comes Magnussen round the outside into turn 6. This will be a brave manoeuvre, and Jimmy just eased slightly to the right there and said to Kevin, no thanks, I think we'll be carrying on. As now Kevin goes round the outside at turn 5 and heads into that position, takes Speedway under the lights, and from the Hagerty Global broadcast booth over the tri-oval we get an awesome view of what is going on. The different coloured headlights, the yellow signifying the GT cars and the bright white of the prototypes in the swan song for DPI here at Daytona, and the top 5 separated by 4 seconds. Incident
speaking, has got to start plumb last, 30th on the grid, got it all to do from there. Lando Norris, the 3 kart, leads it from 15 Anderton, the O-Plate Tictum, then Ahmed, Newey, Clay, Tailforth, Dan Zelos is 45.36, Bentley Ellis, and the C-Plate Connor Hall rounded out the top 10. 58 in the middle of your picture there, that's Josh Smith, started in 13th place. They go down the hill and away from us through the double apex at the bottom of this hill. Should be line astern unless somebody's made a mistake at the top of the circuit. Earlier heat results on your screen now. The 3 kart, Lando Norris leading this one, 1 heat 1. Daniel Tictum second, Shanika Clay third. Clay with the fastest lap in that one. In heat 2 it was Tictum from Clay and Ahmed. Daniel Tictum with the fastest lap, 49.04, as he come through the left-hander at compression corner. C-Plate trying to make up a place, can't get it done. The 3rd heat, it was Jamie Caroline from Lando Norris and Dan Zelos with Ryan Anderton the fastest lap. And in the earlier final, from which the grid positions for this race were made up, it was Norris from Tictum and Ryan Anderton, with Tictum the fastest lap at 55.84. You can see the conditions are pretty miserable as Anderton makes his way through to the lead. Tictum tries to go with him. He does get it done, so Tictum through to second. Now Norris goes from first to third through the spoon, down the hill into the carousel at the bottom of the hill. So it's Ryan Anderton that leads it then. Coming through to fourth place is Harrison Newey, rookie in this year's championship, 14th in last year's British championships, so not a newbie by any.
Motorcycle engines in the back of these Radical SR3s, almost 1,000 of these little sports cars built since 2002. They compete around the world and they are off and running, with Jenson Button wanting to get Team GB off to a flyer. And he's up against Sebastian Vettel. Well, these two have faced off many times before, Jenny, and you've seen them in Formula 1 pit lanes around the world. But this is something quite different.
Absolutely. This is all about Race of Champions and getting the drivers to do something and experience something totally outside their comfort zone. At the moment, Sebastian Vettel looks like he's got the better of Jenson Button.
Don't forget, it's slightly shorter on the lane that Sebastian started, 670 yards. They'll come together off the final corner. Who has the momentum? It looks like it's going to be the far side. It is, and Sebastian Vettel gets only his second race win of the weekend, with the racing rolling out so quickly here. Vettel on the far side in the white KTM crossbow. Looked to me as though there was a slight advantage again for the German coming down to the home plate hairpin here at Marlins Park as he heads up the right field line.
Yeah, plenty of sideways action, and you can see there in car with Sebastian Vettel how hard he's working that steering wheel. The passenger having a thrilling ride, and that you could just see was the crossover.
David Coulthard appears to have the advantage on the shorter run, but now it's about keeping things nice and smooth. Vettel sliding the car around, clearly comfortable in this KTM crossbow. Very agile little machine. Comes off the final corner. David Coulthard's very close to the centre line, but can't pull it back. And Germany goes.
Dominating the series so far has been Fraser Sheeter, but he could only manage second place behind number 9, James Holman, in Heat 1. The 15-year-old went on to win the next heat again, followed closely by Fraser Sheeter, Lewis Hamilton, and the rest of the field. Holman was in a class of his own as the determined youngster passed Fraser in Heat 3. Alex Lloyd's challenge on Holman was in vain, but he managed to finish the race, unlike championship contender Lewis Hamilton, whose car didn't make the distance. This was a bitter blow for Lewis, and means he'll start the final from the back of the grid. Next to Holman is Fraser Sheeter. Russell Parks and Alex Lloyd are on row 2, and on row 3 are Mark Fell and Christian Baccarou.
And that's exactly where he is now, but he's being chased by 16 Christian Baccarou, 26 Russell Parks, 47 Alex Lloyd, and 44 Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton started at the back row of the grid. He comes through on 47, so through goes Hamilton up into 5th place now in car 44. So Hamilton is on a charge. He needs to be after his qualifying position. 9, Holman still leads. Bell still in 2nd place in car 17. Then it's 16, Christian Baccarou, 26, Russell Parks. And Parks is lining himself up to 3rd place. He's gone through. Parks goes through to 3rd place. So Parks has made a pass on Christian Baccarou. And Lewis Hamilton's followed him. Lewis Hamilton's gone through as well in car 44. So Hamilton moves up a place also. Back goes 16 Baccarou. Now it's 47 Alex Lloyd taking a look at Baccarou as well. So he's going to find himself in a lot of trouble in a minute. Front, Holman. Oh, Holman is hanging on in there, but it's Lewis Hamilton we've got to keep an eye on. The 96 Cadet champion, the 97 Yamaha champion. He's in car 44. He's not found this year as easy as he has the previous 2. Still Holman the poleman that leads the race from Mark Fell in 2nd place. Mark Fell perfectly positioned to try and make a pass at any given time. Russell Parks still in 3rd place, but Lewis Hamilton looking menacing there in 4th.